Who is the best Goa'uld? That's a big question. Welcome to Sidetrack, your sci-fi TV and movie channel. So this video is inspired by a bit of a Twitter feed at the moment going on Twitter. Somebody asked, who is your favorite Goa'uld? And everybody jumped on. So I thought I would give my 2 cents. But I can't just say who my favorite Goa'uld is, who the best Goa'uld is. I'm going to have to break it down a little bit. So first of all, who was the most dangerous Goa'uld? It's not really a question, is it? It was Anubis. Now, Anubis was played by several different actors, but none better than Jim in the coffee shop, played by Jim Zunder. Zunder.
Can I get a coffee?
Get it yourself.
Don't mind if I do.
Oh, I don't know how to say his name, but he's a brilliant actor. I've loved him in everything I've ever seen him in. And his portrayal of Jim in this episode of Stargate, he wasn't just kind of charismatic and almost likable, but when he then turns and Daniel realizes he's Anubis, he was damn right maniacal.
You got it now.
You are Anubis.
Cheers.
Genuinely terrifying and just gloriously brilliant. But the character of Anubis, now, not only was he so evil that even the system lords of the Goa'uld thought he was too evil. I mean, how crazy and psychotic do you have to be shunned by the system lords? He then tricked Omadasala into ascending him, only realizing halfway through the process what a mistake she'd have made, and the rest of the ascended beings had to step in and push him back, but they were never quite able to. This energy being had to sort of use hosts and hold himself within an energy force and all of these things to try to survive, but survive he did. They actually killed him a few times and he kept coming back. He had access to a certain amount of ascended knowledge. He had access to advanced technology. He was able to wipe out the system lords. He was able to come this close, thanks to the ancient weapon under Kara, this close to wiping out all existence in the universe. Now, he didn't Thanos this. He was going to wipe out all existence, not half, all of it. How many villains in sci-fi do you know that have ever done that? So yeah, he was evil. Yeah, he was brilliant. And yeah, he was the most dangerous of all the Goa'uld. But what is the most interesting storyline created for one of the Goa'uld? Well, for me, that is Lord Yu. Now, this Goa'uld, however evil he was, even though he became a bit of an ally towards the end, was the oldest of the system lords. Now, towards the end of Yu's existence, he began to show signs of basically Alzheimer's. He began to become very forgetful. He began to order very strange things, and actually his prime had to step in regularly to protect him. I always thought that was just a genius storyline, that it showed a humanity almost of the Goa'uld, and that they were not forever, that they did have still weakness. It really just added another dimension to the Goa'uld species that we'd never seen before. And I just genuinely thought it was a very, very clever way of running that storyline. For me, that was one of the most interesting things they ever did with the Goa'uld. Now, there was one scene involving a particular Goa'uld that actually nearly made me cry. And you don't know me very well, but I'm not a crier. But it was such a powerful and emotive scene involving the Goa'uld that it had to be mentioned in this video talking about the best bits of the Goa'uld. I am talking about one of Apophis' death scenes. Now, when he was running from the Satan Goa'uld, and he died slowly in front of Jack O'Neill at the SGC, his host re-emerged. The serpent died, and the host regained control.
Pechagere. Peneche sagere. Himata. Shimata.
He says he's been in an unending dream. He hoped to awaken from it to see his wife and his children.
It was an incredibly emotive scene when he says felt like he'd been in a dream and that he was hoping to awaken and find himself back with his loved ones. This was not just incredibly well acted by Peter Williams, but it was just a genuinely powerful scene and one of the most memorable scenes from all of Stargate.
I said I will speak the words of power and do the rites. You will be returned to Egypt and buried with honor. You will pass through the 7 gates and see your wife and children again and rejoice with them forever.
Peter Williams playing Apophis was always brilliant. He really was the mainstay of the first, 3 or 4 seasons of Stargate, and he was always magnificent. But he was not my favourite Goa'uld. And I think a lot of you are going to agree with who I'm going with, because a lot of people on Twitter agreed. It's got to be Baal, right? Now, a lot of the scenes I'm going to talk about now are basically Baal interacting with O'Neill.
Paul. Stand down, boys. Wow, buddy. We were just talking about you. All good.
It was just glorious. In particular, O'Neill's sarcasm just came to an absolute... O'Neill just seemed to bounce off Baal better than even anybody else. You know, he was glorious for his sarcasm and his humor, but in some of these scenes with Baal, he was even more genius.
So, I am so sorry. I was just finishing up a lovely brunch. No, tuna.
The actor that played him, Cliff Simon, was one of those actors who's just very charismatic. He could be incredibly evil. He could be incredibly egomaniacal. And he could have this little glint in the eye that just always made you think he was about to crack a smile, or that basically he could get away with anything. I bet when he was a kid, he got away with bloody murder. You just know his nan was like, oh, little Cliff, he's all right. And the mom's like, he flushed my keys down the loo, the little bat, you know? And it's just, he's so sweet though, isn't he? I am telling you, this guy got away with murder. And he did as Baal. However much evil he committed, we still kind of loved him. And we were still kind of sad when the last one was finally caught and murdered after he genetically engineered clones of himself.
Now, your attempts at meeting the replicators head-on are only going to result...
Jacob.
What?
I got it. I've got a better idea. Instead of helping you, why don't we sit back and watch you get your ass kicked? That way you'll be dead, and we'll be glad.
No, Baal was always my favourite of the Goa'uld, and you can see why his character was brought back again and again and again. So guys, get into the comments and tell me exactly what you think. Who was your favourite Goa'uld? But more importantly, what were the favourite scenes or storylines that involved the Goa'uld through Stargate that you enjoyed the most? Get in the comments and tell me exactly what you think. If you are new to the channel, please like, subscribe, hit that bell notification. It really helps us out. And as always, if you enjoy the content, hit the join button. Don't forget to check the description for links to 9 Chevrons, our Stargate website, our merchandise website, and things like the Facebook link. They're all in the description. As always, please stay safe. I'll see you next time.